I was having a conversation with somebody, and this person's from Canada, so sometimes I have to, because it is a little bit different here.
Yeah.
The thought,
They're
like the
missing
thought
free
process
speech.
is a little bit different. What?
I'm just kidding. I would say they're missing free speech. This is when it's nice for you to hear me in the headphones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have your thing turned up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I can hear you. Well, no, but it's funny you mentioned free speech because I mean, it can be argued
They
that
have selective speech.
well, no other country in the world has free speech like we do,
Oh, I know.
where it's
say
not
whatever you
it's
want.
not a government granted right. It's like that's all fine and good to say we have free speech, but the government, I mean, Bill C-16, which made Jordan Peterson famous, you know, that proves that the Canadian government at least can potentially compel or eliminate speech.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, that one was forced use of speech, compelled speech, but they could just as easily censor because they have much stricter hate speech laws up in Canada too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't understand that. Like,
I understand it, but
I
again,
understand but it's just a slippery slope.
But we're Americans though, so we just think about it differently because we're raised that way.
That's true.
You know, well, at least we used to be raised that way, not so much anymore.
Oh,
but
man, that burp did not taste good.
well, it was a
I
White
had
Claw.
ribs for lunch.
Oh, I thought it was the White Claw.
The ribs. No, I made some ribs and they're really good.
So anyway, my point being, everybody has the right to vote, absolutely, and this is what kills me, especially when I'm talking to liberals, is nobody's disputing that. You know, nobody's saying that the 75-year-old lady this is the first time she's voting, nobody took away her right to vote ever. You know, like that didn't happen, and then I hear all these things like, well, you know, there are places that tried to restrict access. It's like, how? By requiring a photo ID? It's 2020.
Why don't you have an ID?
Exactly, that's my point. Well, it's like, well, not everybody drives. I'm like, okay, get a state ID. It's like $10. I don't even think it's that much.
I do want to point something out, and I don't care what you lean, left, right, straight. You know, just kidding.
Fagalus?
Like you said, it's 2020. Why is that such a problem with people? And the thing is, you got one party, I'm going to point this out, you got one party that's against voter ID. You got one party that's for mail-in ballots. You got one party for, like, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, listen, dude, that if you want a fair election, if you want a fairy election,
you have it in California.
Just kidding. Anyway, so it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you got to... I don't know.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's like there's nothing wrong with having an ID and showing an ID. Now the thing is, I had to scan my ID.
Yeah.
And it brought me up in a system. She goes, "Yeah, are you blah blah blah?" And I was like, "I look like him, right?"
Gee, what does the card say?
Yeah, you know, and then I had to sign. Did we sign something? Yeah,
electronic
signature.
Yeah, but it matched which I think the electronic signature is a moot point the way we do it because they scan my license.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I mean, hell, when I sign on those things, it looks like I'm writing with a...
Yeah, I know. It's like nobody's signature matches.
Did you sign with your finger? I can't remember.
No, they had the...
Yeah, they had the stylus.
Did they give you a Q-tip too?
No, yeah, they gave me a Q-tip.
It was funny, they gave it to me, I'm like, what's this for? And I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, but I'm just like, seriously, like, you could just have a hand sanitizer station
You know what? I prefer the Q-tip, though. I really do. The funny thing is, they handed it to me. I'm like, well, I already used it this morning, but I mean, I guess. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, Jake, after he was done, he was like, now I can hear you.
Yep. And it sounds like freedom.
Freedom! Sorry, my voice is really cracky today.
Anyway.
Well,
and it does make perfect sense because when your party platform is convincing your people that they're victims and that they're being oppressed,
mm-hmm.
you kind of want them to think that they're victims and being oppressed.
Right.